Welcome back to Heart and Hustle. I think we're actually going to keep that name. I like it.
No intro yet.
Still working on it. That's fine. So today, to transition from the last episode, we are going to have a little chat about the life rules that we live by, which basically is just like verbalizing the standards that we live by, or the things we're constantly reminding each other of, constantly reminding other people of, the things that are important to us, like the filter that we put our decisions through. And we'll probably only get through like a few of them. I have like a decent list of things that like I absolutely live by, but we're gonna chat about a few of them and why they're important to us. So,
Go ahead and kick it off. I think you got
okay.
3 that you mainly live by, and I really only have 2 because obviously I'm a big believer in certain realms, less is more. So you're not too focused.
I know. And me, and every time I come across something that I like, I add it to this list, and it's gonna be the new thing that I'm gonna live by. So number 1, and this has been like top of my life rules list for quite a long time now. Life works for me. Always. I say it all the time. I believe it. And every single situation that I'm in, I've learned to view it that way. And that alone has completely changed my life. I will tattoo it on my forehead if I have to. But I just believe that like everything works for me, even when it doesn't feel that way in the moment, even when it's something that I feel like is putting me back or like an obstacle in my way. Instead of being mad at it or frustrated, which don't get me wrong, I do get like mad and frustrated, but when you can view that obstacle as it's working for you, it's slowing you down for the right reason, so you can actually come across the thing that you're meant to, or you can meet the right person, which is why you got derailed, or I had to build this skill, which is why I had to go through something hard in order to be able to like unlock that next level. So instead of being mad about the obstacle in front of me, when I can see it as an opportunity to build the skill or overcome or grow my capacity in whatever way I'm gonna make it work for me, I will always find the way to make it work for me and not just be like a thing that's there in the way. And that mental switch alone, first of all, it like gives you permission to not be so upset. I mean, life's gonna keep happening, right? Like that's the whole point in life. But if you're just like constantly being upset by the obstacles in your way, instead of like seeing it as a fun challenge to help you get to like that next level that you're reaching for, like you're just gonna show up completely different. You're gonna get through it completely different. And that one has, I think, brought me a lot of success in like.
That's also not to say like things aren't going to annoy you throughout the day. Like that's not like, she's not saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, she's not saying never be upset about something or never let something get you in the moment. Like obviously things are going to happen. It's realistically the things that stew on for hours for no reason. Like the person that cut you off in traffic, or the guy or girl holding the drive-through lineup to get your coffee. Like it just, that stuff doesn't need to linger for more than while you're in that mind kind of thing. Like or while you're cut off in traffic. Okay, by the time you get to your next stop, like let it go.
Yeah, definitely. And like speaking of that burnt toast theory, it ties into like we can get into that as well. But like I live by burnt toast theory, and I'm obsessed with the fact that everything happens for a reason. Life works for me. Like it's all, you know, kind of the same life rule. And if you're not aware, burnt toast theory is basically the theory that like if in the morning you're getting ready to go to work or wherever you're going and you burn your piece of toast, so now you have to take the time to make the extra toast and, you know, redo it. So now you're a few minutes behind initially wanting to leave. And instead of being frustrated at that and upset, and now it throws your whole day off, and then you're going through your day angry, if you really take a step back and realize that like you burnt that piece of toast because it saved you from an accident that was going to happen if you left at that exact time that you planned on leaving. But so, you know, like this obstacle that was put in front of you and slowed you down actually works for you and worked for your benefit and saved you from something, or helped you to run into a person that, this has happened to me many times, but because I left late, I've run into a person that like I actually could help. And if I would have left a few minutes earlier, I wouldn't have run into that person. Or however that works. So like I love looking at life through the lens of burnt toast theory, and life works for me, and my obstacles work for me, and they make me better and stronger and always exactly on time, even when like I'm frustrated that it slowed me down or something.
I think the name itself is the irony.
Life works for me?
No, it's the burnt toast theory, right? Because it's like burnt toast theory is something of positive light, but when it's related to real life, like let's just say you're cooking, like burnt toast isn't going to draw you any benefit.
Exactly.
But
when you can see the benefit in the thing that
right.
doesn't have benefit, and you just go about your whole day differently, and then think about it. The things that you attract during your day are differently. The things that the conversations you have, because you're not annoyed, because again, you saw that as a benefit. So now you feel like your day is extra beneficial to you, and like things are actually working in your favor rather than it slowed you down and it's an annoyance. Like everything about your entire day and every interaction is going to be different if you can look at life through the lens of life works for me, and especially if you can remember that and look through that lens as annoying things are happening, because at the end of the day, life is life. Annoying things happen. Some people get through them very well and very easily and like come out on top, and some people don't. And what is the difference between those two type of people? The people who are always walking around angry and upset and victim-y and blah blah blah. Well, some people realize that life works for you, and all these obstacles in your way are actually for your benefit. And the cool thing about that is, even if like you don't initially see how it's in your benefit, when you put it in your brain that life works for you, you're going to create the ways that it actually works for you. And then you're going to create, like unknowingly, subconsciously, you can create the benefits because you know that life works for you, and that just is. And that's just my life rule. It's a blanket statement, and I am going to forever live by that and tattoo it on my forehead.
So, my brother and I have had this theory of, or not theory, but this name for when people walk around angry, because they just walk heavy. So we always just said like they walk like they're mad at the ground. Like the steps are just so hard because they're angry. It's just like they walk like they're angry at the ground.
So don't be that person. Don't make the card shop owners talk about you because you walk like you're angry at the ground. That's funny. But I guess that's the difference between people who are angry at the ground and who aren't. Like, I'm not angry at the ground because the ground works for me.
Well, it's the same. It works both ways though. Because if someone's genuinely happy or genuinely trying to find the positive side of things in the things that aren't positive, those people walk around light.
Yeah.
So it's like you're walking light on your feet. But if you're walking around angry, how are you walking on your feet? Hard, heavy, stomping, like. What did you do when you were a little kid and your mom told you to go to your room if you had stairs in your house? Man, you stomped on those stairs on the way up. And then you got yelled at for stomping on the stairs on the way up, which led you to slamming the door. And then what did you do after you slammed the door? You got yelled at. So it's just that you, walk around angry at the ground, mellow around slamming doors.
That's funny. I think we can do a whole podcast episode on the like sayings and things that you and your brother come up with or like over the years, things that you've come up with as far as like scenarios or explanations or groupings together, like just different things that you've like come in contact with over the years, just like kind of both being stuck in the shop together and having nothing to do but like rip off each other.
But seeing all walks of life.
Yes.
And like, one of the things too, like simply like by the way that you park or the way you enter the business, like you're prejudged, and it's not like you're treated differently when you walked in, but it's just stereotypes are stereotypes, right? Like at the end of the day. So like if somebody was just like, there would be people that parked 10 feet to the side of the entrance further away than the walking path, but they wouldn't use the walking path to get into the shade faster to walk under the awning. They would just still go past the walking path and then walk through the bushes. Like, you already told me what kind of person you are in life because you did that. And people don't think that that's important or think that that's true, but it's like, A, you lack respect for the businesses because they have to pay to maintain those areas. And B, the fact that you decided to make your path harder for yourself to get to where you needed to go, these relate to real world scenarios, right? Or like parking.
So I feel like this actually, you're straight up tying into like one of the next life rules that is actually in your list of like how you do one thing is how you do everything, which is exactly what you're
right. It's for me, there's a time and a place to cut a corner.
Yeah.
But if you're not picking places to focus and do repetitions on, then yeah, you're not living your life, or you're living your life in chaos. And people always say like, oh, this and that. And I firmly believe if you're one that just constantly has chaos going on in your life, it's because you're not simplifying it or doing anything good in one area. And it's like being nice to your coworkers or holding the door for one person, like instead of two. Like these aren't things that you did nice things for people today. It's like hold the door for the next 3 people instead of whatever. Like I get it, you're in a rush. I'm not saying everything. These are just like minimal examples that.
But like it takes nothing to hold a door for somebody,
Right.
which can completely change your aura, your magnetism, and
Here's a crazy one. Just say hello to everybody you walk by.
So simple.
It is so simple.
And like how many times do we
I
hear...
don't know anybody who gets angry for the rest of the day when they just walk by 50 people in a day and they just go, hey, how are you today? And like, that's it. No one's going to really stop and have a conversation. And if it did, the person that stopped and wanted to have a conversation with you, like a full-blown conversation, is probably going to change something for you.
Right.
Because they have the time and they have the wisdom. But again, it's just simple things. How you operate daily is how you live your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I mean, to take it a step further, because I like the woo-woo side of things, like the energetics and stuff, and like, don't quote me on this, I'm not the one that went to Harvard, but like energetically it is proven and measured. And I know Joe Dispenza, who does directly work with Harvard, he like works in this field, but like when you do walk around with a certain energy to you and like you do nice things for people and you are putting good out into the world and you're not letting all the obstacles of your day really derail you, like energetically you attract differently. Your aura is different, you're felt different when you walk into a room, your impact on everybody that you come across is going to be different. And again, like through like quantum physics, that literally can be measured. So it's not even just some made up thing, but like how you do one thing is actually how you do everything, because that determines your energy, your aura, like your frequency, all of the whatever woo-woo term you want to enter here. Like it really does matter, and it's been proven. So yeah, how you do one thing, how you do everything is a huge thing. And I didn't come to you this way. You definitely have drilled that part into me, because I do a lot of things lazy.
Absolutely.
And
when we first
corners.
met, you just winged everything, and I was just sitting here, but we were also at different points in our lives. Like neither one of us were looking for a partner.
I also had just like moved across the country where I came here to like, didn't move.
But your life,
across the country
that I saw wasn't chaotic.
No,
and I don't think it was actually chaotic. But if you zoomed out compared to where we are and how we operate now, your life was chaotic compared to what is deemed chaotic.
I would say it's more. It was more exploratory. Like I was more of a free spirit, willing and able to explore, that required less rules or like rigid, hard. I was figuring it out, so I had to leave room to figure it out.
You can say however you want to say it, but if we look at how we live our lives now versus how you lived then, that was chaos versus non-chaos.
Yeah. I didn't have systems in place
See?
to simplify any part of my life.
Which I'm going to cut off and skip to number 2, because you just said that, of life rules for me, which is, man, have I beat this into so many people's heads.
So this is actually number 3, because number 2 was...
my number
your
2.
Number 2, okay.
This is number 3 in total, but my number 2.
Okay, yeah.
So your number 1 was...
Life works for me.
Right, and then
Always.
my number 1 was how you operate daily is how you live your life. So my number 2 is take the extra 10 seconds. It's a loose metaphor.
You've been saying this since before I met you.
I've been saying I'm the youngest of 4 children. And I have been telling this to my siblings for over 2 decades.
We have to put it on a sweater or something.
It is wild to me in the amount of chaos created in people's lives. It would be simplified if they absolutely just took the extra 10 seconds. And what I mean by that is, if you, for instance, if you're someone who constantly just loses your car keys, but you know they're in your house, or you can never find your hairbrush, or whatever the case may be. If you're brushing your hair in a separate room because you took it out of the room, take the extra 10 seconds and walk it back. The second you get in the house, have somewhere to hang your keys or put it in a bowl every single time. You will never ever lose them that way.
It makes sense.
It doesn't. It's wild to me. But when you start doing these things, you start getting in a routine.
Yeah.
Right? I just, you can name any scenario where you feel like something in your life is a constant issue that you have, such as the hairbrush or the keys or the wallet, whatever it is. I guarantee you, I can find a way that you can use the 10-second. Take the extra 10-second theory.
So really,
I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated.
You are undefeated. And you've taught that to everybody we know. You've definitely taught that to me. I mean, I've been with you for going on 9 years or going on 10 or something now, and
you still
I was gonna say
have to have practice times.
Yes, that is very true. But so never mind. I don't want to take from yours yet. But this will lead into my next one, which is why we totally clash on it. But taking the extra 10 seconds has definitely simplified our life. Oh, and what I was going to say is it also translates to business. And because you just have such a business, strategic, systematic mind, like that's also what you have to do in business is take the extra 10 seconds to set up the systems. And then once you have the systems set up, like you do them every time. You don't just wing it. That's the whole point of having a system. That's how you automate yourself out of the business. That's how you are able to train people and make sure everybody's on the same page. Like, it only makes sense.
On the other side of that too, it's just how you don't forget. So not even that you set yourself up, it's how you don't forget. So again, you forgot where you put your keys, you forgot where you put your hairbrush, or if you constantly know you need to do something and it would just take a quick second to go do, but you're like, nah, I'll do it later, or I'll do it when I'm done with this, even though whatever you're doing right that second. How many times have you come across the instance, and I don't mean you, just people listening, how many times have you come across an instance where you have been doing something and you're like, oh, okay, I'll do that in a minute. And then you go to do another task, and you're like, oh, I forgot to do that. I'll do that in a minute. And then it happens again and again. And it's like now you're at like the fourth or fifth time.
Why
but guess
are you
what?
calling me out?
I just said I'm not, but
you are.
But again, it's the thing where if you just did it the first time, because no one's happy that they forgot it the second time.
Right.
Then it's the third time, and then it's just an even more sigh. And it's simple. Like, I'm telling you, I do everything. Oh, the paper towels are out, I'm going to go do it. Even though, I don't know, even though I had something else to do, the second the paper towels are out, that's the immediate thing in my face. So I'm going to take the extra 10 seconds.
In a little bit.
Yeah, and then you'll forget.
And then you do it. So, we were talking about life rules, but here's a life hack. If you marry a man who does all the things that you don't do, they all end up done. So that really works out in my favor for sure. So yeah, take the extra 10 seconds, create the system. At the end of the day, what that's going to create is the habit and the routine. And then you're never going to forget where your keys are. You're never going to forget XYZ. Also, it kind of just, it goes back to like how you do one thing is how you do everything. But when you take the extra 10 seconds to walk the right way on the sidewalk, to do whatever, like you don't know how that positively is going to impact the future relationships and like situations that you're in for the day. Like it actually all does correlate and it all does matter.
Putting the grocery cart back. That is a hot topic.
Oh, that's one.
Hot
100%.
topic.
We can both agree on that one, even though I cut corners and all that stuff. I like to be lazy.
Signs of Magic. I don't know what that song is. They said, and this was probably, I don't know if it's related to something they live by or a life rule, but it says play the song Loser by Alexander Hibbs. I'm not sure what that is, but we will have to go back and...
I'm going to write it down right now so we remember.
Yeah, we'll definitely check that out.
Higgs?
Hibbs, double B.
Hibbs. Cool. After this episode, we're going to go do that. Because it sounds like it's right up our alley.
So, the cart thing absolutely blows my mind that people... Again, I think that the 10-second rule applies, and it also ties into number one for me for that particular thing. Like how you live your daily life, or what you do in your daily life is how you live your life.
Yeah, and it says a lot about you.
Trust me, I know there are a plethora of hot takes out there. You're not going to convince me personally, and you're allowed to have your opinions and you're allowed to have your takes, and I'm just telling you, I don't care if you're a mom of 2, a mom of 3, not a mom, a dad of 1, a dad of 5, not a dad. I don't care. And the biggest thing I always see when I have this conversation with people is like parents. They're always like, oh, well, my child's safety is more important than a car, or like,
which I get that.
But I don't feel safe in a parking lot. Okay. Well, like, we live in a world nowadays where, like, one, curbside pickup is constantly an option almost at every single big box store,
and I think
including
it's
like
free.
a Walgreens, CVS, and 9 out of 10 times it's free.
Yeah.
Number one. So, and again, I forgot to do it and I didn't rush to do it. Okay, so 2 parts to that. Number one, if you didn't put the order in, that goes back to my life rule number 1. You had so much chaos going on in your life that you couldn't do what was important to be able to make your life easier, so you don't have to worry about rushing, worrying about getting your kid in the car seat and then just leaving the thing by your car. Because here's the thing that happens. And then the second one is like weather. I understand the weather. If it's super thunderstorm and you're not even close by and you just try to do your car, okay, cool. But the thing with the people that use kids as like the metric or the reason why, it's like just park as close to the cart return as you can. And then who is to say when you're going in that store, right? Okay, here's my logic as a parent. Number one, and we do have a child together. Why would I want my daughter or my son or my children to be put into the car when it's hot after I just got out of the store to put them in the car, load the groceries, and then just leave the cart? Why wouldn't I turn the car on, put the groceries in the car, let that cool down, bring my kid to the return cart section, and then carry my kid or kids, walk them back to the car? Now, if you have twins or something like that, I can, get behind that and understand like it's a little bit more difficult. So yeah, there's a little pass there and there's a gray area, but we're talking majority of the time it's just people that have an infant that's already in the car seat anyway, and that's your excuse. Because here's the thing, when you leave your cart like that, have you guys ever seen the videos where the carts just randomly go and crash into somebody's car?
And don't let it crash into my brand new car. I'll be
right.
so mad.
Right, but that's karma for them. Yeah. Like the second that cart hits somebody else's car, because you're inconsiderate, you're not thinking about other people. You only care what's beneficial to you and what's convenient for you in the moment. And I think that completely ties into, again, what we talked about do something kind for other people.
Yeah.
I think putting your cart back is a huge thing to be kind.
Yeah.
The workers don't have to go out of their way to round them up. You don't have to worry about hitting anybody's car in the future.
And it's just taking the extra time to, be considerate to others.
The extra 10 seconds.
Literally.
It's wild.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can make an excuse why you don't do everything. Like, we can make excuses for why you don't put the carts back. Like, there are extenuating circumstances to where it makes sense that, okay.
And a lot of time I found out that the cart people that don't put it back, it's absolutely things they can carry in their hands.
Right. And that's the thing. There are ways around it.
Why can't you just bring your stroller into the store if you have a young one, and then carry those couple bags you have? Okay, if you need more than that, hey, guess what? We talked about it. Curbside. But then what I like to relate to that people rebuttal is, okay, when you go into the mall, how many shopping carts do you bring back to your car when you have bags that you need to carry in your hand?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, there's no shopping carts.
And we still figure it out.
Weird how it's convenient that it works for there, right? It's like the trash theory. People think it's weird they show up in a plaza like ours, there's no trash cans. But I'll tell you what, the second our landlord took the trash cans out of the plaza, we don't have a litter problem.
It seems so counterintuitive, right?
Right, but it makes sense.
What else did there was another situation that we were just talking about yesterday or the day before where it was the same thing, but it seemed very counterintuitive, but the benefit was massive. I don't remember what it was, but it was a good one. I think it was a business correlation.
I'm not sure.
I know, maybe we'll have to circle back. No, I feel like we need to have a podcast following us at all times.
So that's my number 2. Take the extra 10 seconds. What do you got?
So this one.
Oh yeah, all right, here we go.
No, you don't even know.
No, I can see it from here. What do you mean?
Yeah, there's a whole list.
But your cursor is on exactly. Go ahead.
So the next thing, and this is a big one for me, and first of all, I don't care what you say. I'm giving permission to everybody to live this way. We can figure out how to tie in the 10 seconds as well, but like, I am a firm believer. All right, so the saying specifically, I think
Take
I learned
what
this.
you will from this, not
I can't get it out.
Not by law, okay?
So I learned this saying that very much like sums all this up, and I use it all the time. But I did not come to this life to suffer. I will say it before everything, after everything. I did not come to this life to suffer. Therefore, this brings me to one of the other life rules that I'm like obsessed with and I live by, and I make everybody else live by too, is that I don't do anything that I don't enjoy. I just don't. I'm not putting it on my task list. I'm not putting energy into it. I'm not, like, you know, we have a certain
So do you
amount
enjoy putting your grocery cart back? Because you do.
I do, yeah. So that doesn't count because that's just me. Like, I enjoy positively contributing to anybody, like to society, to the guy who has to. I actually like the guy at our Walmart who goes and collects the grocery stuff. So like, I do enjoy going out of my way and going the extra mile because it makes me feel more successful. It makes me feel more put together. It makes me feel like I'm taking the extra 10 seconds. It makes me feel not so like loosey-goosey. It makes me feel like I'm helping somebody else out. Like, I'm contributing in such a little way, but I know that it matters. So I do enjoy that, even though, like, yeah, in the heat, I might not enjoy walking to the cart station, but also, like, I thoroughly enjoy doing hard things. I enjoy making myself uncomfortable. So, like, yeah, I enjoy walking past people who don't return their carts while I'm, like, if I can do it, you can do it. I can figure it out, so can you. So, yeah, I would say I do enjoy putting the carts back.
I would say the only time that I'm real quick to nip into put the carts back, the only time I am passive aggressive willingly, like me being foot forward passive aggressive, unless someone draws it out of me, just being sarcastic personality. But for me to just openly be wanting to be passive aggressive is the cart thing. So when I watch somebody literally next to their car and again, they might be 3 car lengths from the return thing, and that's exactly the problem.
Yeah, you're
like
literally
they're not
right
even
there.
all the
Come
way
on,
at the other
bro.
end. They're 3 parking spots away, and they're just like, here looks good.
Yeah.
And I'm walking into the store. I love being passive aggressive by taking the carts, like after they're got 1 foot in their car, and I'm like right there, and I just go, don't worry, I don't work here, but I'll bring your cart back so nobody else's car gets hit. And the look on their face isn't even aggressive. It's just they knew they did something that they shouldn't have done.
Yeah, because like it's so simple, and if you can't go out of your way to do the simple things for anybody, then like how do you expect good to come to you? You know what I mean? Like, how you do one thing is how you do everything, but also like how you do one thing is how you attract everything. So if you're gonna be lazy like that and like not considerate, the world's probably not going to be very considerate towards you, and then you're just setting yourself up for more failure and frustration and XYZ. So yeah, I actually do enjoy returning the cart simply because like I also enjoy like filling my bucket of goodness, and I like to do as many positive and good things as I can during the day. So like if that's one of them, that's such an easy little thing for me to add to my bucket, of course I'm going to do it. It's a no-brainer. Have there been times where like my daughter's freaking out and maybe it's pouring raining or, you know, something where like I don't make it? Like, of course, I'm not perfect. It's probably been many years since then, but like if there's a will, there's a way. And if I can do hard things in life, I can definitely return my damn cart. I mean, that's pretty much as basic and simple as it gets. Clearly that's one thing that really like fires us up. But in general, back to my life rule, I don't do anything I don't enjoy. And that's not like 100% literal, but like, so for instance, a big one for me that is very much different for most women, but like I don't enjoy housewifey things. I don't enjoy cooking. I actually do kind of like cleaning, but it has to be like a good vibe. I think I have some ADHD, so I think I like to coexist. Like if me and Trav are cleaning together and we got music on, like that's fun for me. So I'm not saying I like don't ever clean and I don't straighten up. Like I value living in a clean space, so like we do keep it clean. But I'm not gonna put aside a whole bunch of time to cook and clean and spend hours in the kitchen and doing this and that because it doesn't bring me joy. And if I'm putting all of my energy into doing stuff that doesn't even bring me joy, that it changes so many other interactions of my day. So like, yes, I do cook and clean here and there, but like we will, we have like meal prep meals that we used to get, which actually I hope we get again. But like, well, we order out a lot, and like luckily we, who are you talking to?
Just people in the comments that had nothing to do with the topic. So
luckily we, you know, we're in a position where we can order out a lot. I love eating out personally, and I don't think it's a bad thing if you order healthy things. Like, I like when other people cook for me. I will hire a private chef because I find value in not spending my time in the kitchen, because when I keep my energy doing things that I actually enjoy, I can produce so much more goodness. It works better for like business, our relationship, how I operate throughout my day. I'm a better mother. So I do not spend much time or energy doing anything that doesn't bring me joy. And for me, just how I am and how I operate, like another one of my life rules that ties into this is I don't do things a caveman can do. Like if it's easy, basic, like if a monkey... I think they're kind of together. Like I don't do...
Ah, you want to steal the microphone?
You did it
spotlight.
too.
Now I got two. I did.
You can do as many as you want. But I'm really like firm on those. I won't do things I don't enjoy. I'm gonna say no to things that I don't enjoy because I did not come to this life to suffer. And if it doesn't bring me joy or happiness or move me forward, or I get joy off of like progressing and my to-do list and stuff. So like if it doesn't bring me closer to my goal, I'm not spending time doing it. And again, luckily I found a man who doesn't make me do things I don't enjoy, because that is one of my hard rules. And I would never be with a man who values things that I don't value. So like I have a friend, actually one of my really, really good friends, loves cooking. Actually, Travis loves cooking, my really good friend over here. But like that's something that brings him joy. So I'm not saying don't spend time in the kitchen. Like I have a friend who built a whole business off of meal prepping and cooking. Like that's what she loves to do. I would never spend the amount of hours she spends in the kitchen. I am actually a really good cook, but I don't enjoy it, and I'm not going to spend that amount of time and energy doing anything that I don't enjoy. And that's just a really hard rule for me. And it's going to change how I show up throughout the day if I spent my whole morning cooking and I don't even like cooking.
I would say for both of us, even though I love cooking. First of all, if you love cooking, you absolutely know that if you cook with love, it tastes different.
100%.
Absolutely, there is just.
And I don't make it with
and
love.
And that could be the aura, and you know, like it's a big difference. It's not BS.
And that makes sense because energetically, yeah.
If we're not home together because one of us is out, you know, doing something at the store or with a client or a meeting or a seminar or whatever the case may be, and the other person is home, I find that tends to be the moment where we both would cook more often without like, oh, I have to cook, right? It's just because at that point you're locked in. Cooking is just a distraction for what you're doing, but you're still focused. So you could have something on the TV, music going, you're working on the computer, you're typing up something for a client, whatever the case may be, in addition to cooking.
Yeah.
And cooking is not. But like I think our big thing of why cooking is invaluable to us is family time is more important.
Yes, exactly. And then also, and my thing, I've always just really not enjoyed cooking. And it's not just that. I really use this for like everything. If I don't enjoy it, I'm not doing it. But I don't see the value exchange. Like it doesn't work for me as far as taking the amount of time it takes to prep and cook and blah, 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 like a home cooked meal, and then having to clean it up, but like you eat it in 10 minutes. Like that value exchange, like I don't know. You better spend an hour, you really savoring the hell out of that meal if I'm going to spend 2 hours.
Or as you prefer, have a good portion of leftovers.
Yeah, and then we'll enjoy it for a few days or something. But like, you don't even...
So.
Exactly, you don't eat leftovers, so I'm not spending a bunch of time cooking for you to eat something for 10 minutes, and then it's forgotten about.
Or even when I cook. And I overcook all the time. I'm Italian, so I don't know how to cook for
one
small amount of people, right? So even though there's only 3 in our household, 4 counting our niece, most of the time, I don't know how to cook for less than 6.
Yeah, which is
like
it works out if we like leftovers, but we really don't eat leftovers. So
no, I mean you and Janae and our daughter does pretty well, but
Because I don't want to cook. I'd rather eat the
But no,
leftovers.
but typically when you cook, there isn't a whole ton of leftovers. When I cook, there's a whole ton of leftovers. You guys thoroughly like when I cook because it's always something.
Well, you cook
different.
with love, and it's really
Right.
good. You're a great chef. You enjoy it. It's very evident in the meals that you make. I love when you spend time cooking. I'm not going to. And even one of my friends even asked me to be a bridesmaid in her upcoming wedding. And I made this rule for myself a long time ago that I'm not going to do things I don't enjoy. And when I kind of, after a few weddings, realized I really, really hate being in weddings, I had to tell her no. I'm sorry and I love you so much, but I'm not going to agree to be in your wedding when I don't even want to plan my own wedding. We've been engaged for 5 years now. I will happily show up to whatever wedding somebody plans. But if I'm not going to be a part of I don't give a shit about what plates we have and a color scheme. Again, I don't do things a caveman can do. That just doesn't fill my cup to do.
Well, we care about the
basic
color
level
scheme in a sense.
I don't want to sit
Right.
and pick all these little
Right.
details that are so I don't know how to say this nicely, but it seems below my pay grade. I have fun no matter what. They're not below my pay grade. They're not important to me. And
Well, that's why most people have wedding designers.
But they still stress about a wedding for months and
Right.
months. So
When
regardless,
you're paying somebody to take it off your plate.
yeah, and I don't want to be a part of that for my own wedding. So I had to let one of my best friends know that I'm not going to be in your wedding either. That's just not a responsibility that I'm willing to take on. And then it's going to make me not happy for the next X amount of months when at the end of the day, I'm so sorry, but I don't care about your wedding dress. You're going to look beautiful regardless. I'm not stressing out with you over these plates that realistically nobody cares about them at a wedding anyway. I'm not doing it. I'm not, and I don't want to show up at a certain time, and I'm not gonna, if I want to go on a trip, I'm gonna do it with my family. I don't want to do it with a bunch of random girls that aren't my best friends. I'm not signing up for anything that I don't thoroughly enjoy.
I would say a big thing is, like you said, it's always stressful.
It's always stressful, and my life is so stress-free. I'm not about to stress somebody else's life when I'm not even stressing my own. I'm not doing it. So again, I don't do things I don't enjoy.
We just went on vacation to an all-inclusive resort, and we live on a resort. And we went on vacation on all-inclusive. It was beyond stressful because of the way the staff treated us.
Yes.
And it wasn't some rinky-dink, bottom-of-the-barrel resort. It was well-known in one of the safest areas in the entire country.
Beautiful country.
And it was a beautiful resort. But the staff was and it was just stressful for everything every day. And it's not like we harped on it and let it bother us because, again, that's not part of our life rules. But it's on day 3 of 6, neither one of us couldn't wait to get back home to our resort. It's just wild that it's, people pay all that money and it's they don't even notice that they're getting treated below their basic human standards.
Yeah.
It was wild to me. But the thing about the wedding is we'll have to talk about this after the recording and just for our followers, because we're live on social media.
You're sitting here shitting on weddings.
No, but I literally can't wait till we talk about that gap of what I think is a responsibility of hosting a wedding versus what everybody else does.
You're gonna get us canceled, and this is episode 4.
Oh, I thought this was 5. All right, well, either way, it's one of them, right? So
we clearly feel very passionately about certain things that people are going to be in an uproar about, but we have these certain, that's what this whole episode's about, are these certain standards and life rules that we live by, and they are a lot higher or different than what most people even think to filter their life through, and that is why we get to live a different life than most people that we know.
I'm going to tell you right now, we're not married because of any other reason aside from the fact that until all the check marks are in place for knowing that it's possible for all of our wedding agenda to be signed off on, then we're not going to step into it. And that's exactly how the chaos happens, which leads me to what I was going to say is I guarantee you we are going to have one of the most stress-free weddings
100%.
ever. The only,
for everybody else, you're not going to stress one thing, no money.
The only stress factor that's going to come out, and I use stress with air quotes, is what's your outfit? That's it. And if that is your stress factor,
what a great day.
Wow.
Right?
You have no idea. And I have a list in my phone that when she says she doesn't want to plan a wedding, that by all means.
I'll show up.
And people say hire a wedding planner. Let me tell you something. I don't care if wedding planners have been doing this forever. The thing is, wedding planners are great if you also want to cut corners and have a budget, and they might have ins and outs for this. Well, guess what? When you're in business and you make connections, you kind of eliminate the middleman portion of the wedding planner because I already have connections to a DJ.
We know all the
I already
vendors.
have connections to a flower person. Shout out Jordan's Flowers. I already have, so DJ JV, even though you won't be DJing my wedding because I want you there and having fun. But anyway,
I know. I want my dad to DJ, but
Right.
I also need him to
but
be
like
having
these
fun.
things that people don't have because they don't go to these meetings and meet people. And like, yeah, call us lucky or whatever, but we put ourselves in these positions to know all these people. So like, I literally know somebody to do anything that I need done in my life.
And everybody that we tell, we just refuse to like plan the wedding right now. They're like, we'll do the whole thing for you. Like everybody wants to do it for us.
And it's like, nah, Trav got it. It just like there's a whole checklist in my phone, and when I tell you there's things that people don't like even consider, we'll get into that on a whole nother dive.
Yeah,
like I'll tell you what, we'll just make that the next episode because I'm telling you, I'm going to 30-minute for that.
Yeah, actually, let's do that because I think people find it really interesting to peer into those
Well, the fact that
conversations
I'm the one that has it all, like, but it's just
our roles are like reversed in very many ways. Okay, so I guess that wraps up that life role. That one was I did not come to this life to suffer. I hope you all take that and run with it and use it in your own life, because if somebody is trying to get you to do something you don't want to do or whatever, and you just want to set that new standard, you are literally allowed to say like, I did not come to this life to suffer and I ain't doing it. And that is really what I do all day, every day.
So you started that off by saying you didn't come to this life to suffer.
I
and
did
I
not.
also have a thing that says take the extra 10 seconds. So like my third life thing is, or life rule is, find quotes that matter to you and or find quotes that can motivate you. So like the extra 10-second thing is huge for me.
Where'd you come up with that? Did you like see it somewhere, or was it just something
I'm sure that is a thing, but I'm telling you, since I've been saying it, like from over 15 years ago.
So you wouldn't know where you got it from?
No, I came up, I said it. Like, I literally just looked at somebody who was irritating me and just said, dude, just take the extra 10 seconds and do it. Even though it was more than 10 seconds, right? Like, it just, that's how it came about. Like, and I've been saying it forever. I've been saying that and what a time to be alive forever. Which
is crazy.
Forever.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that one later as well, because
quotes.
We just put that together. Okay, before you get into your quotes though, I just want to like randomly say, because we always find ways that we've been tied together like our whole life. Back when, oh my goodness, what's it called? Before MySpace, Tumblr. I had a Tumblr quotes page. I'm obsessed with quotes.
Was Tumblr before MySpace?
I think
don't
so.
think so.
Really? Whatever.
I'm pretty sure MySpace was the absolute first like big social media platform.
I think I was on Tumblr before that. Because remember, I've been blogging forever.
Well, just because you were on it doesn't mean it didn't happen prior.
Touche. I don't know. I remember having a Tumblr blog, I think before I had anything. And I used to I used to be obsessed with finding quotes. And then I would like screenshot them or whatever that was back then. But then like decorate the little graphic. Like I've been into graphic design and blogging. And then I used to blog about the quotes. And so I don't know. I just love that you also like live your life by quotes. Because that is such a integral part of my entire story. Like that is, I am obsessed with online business. And I'm pretty sure that was my first taste of dabbling in the online world and like finding things that make sense to me and creating almost like a brand. I forget what that branded page was, but like I had a color scheme. I put the name on all, so like that kind of was my intro to like branding, online, everything. Oh, that's so cute. This is all just coming back. I feel like I just unlocked a whole memory. I haven't talked about that since it happened.
There you go.
All right, anyway, so yeah, go to your quotes. But
so even if it's quotes or like a metaphor, so like yeah, you take the extra 10 seconds, but like live what you love. So very much tied into, you didn't come into this life to suffer, etc. Like just live what you love, and but also that's not meant to just be taken out of proportion. It just means find your happiness and stick to it. Stop putting it on the back burner. Stop finding distractions. Stop, whatever. But this next one, and like I have a bunch, but this is like the two that I want to share. Or I have three. So
we'll take all the quotes.
The second one is never miss someone who knows how to find you.
Oh.
Everybody's busy and everybody gets busy in life, right? So I'm guilty of it, and it doesn't mean that...
I was going to say I'm guilty too.
It doesn't mean that you're not thinking of the person, right? But all I can say is, all the people that are in my life that we can go days, weeks, or even a couple months maybe without talking, we're on such a positive wavelength with each other that when we reconnect, there is no conversation but positivity.
Yeah.
And it is like when we meet and talk again, and it has been a while, it's like it took us back to when we were becoming best friends in that realm and had so much more time to spend so much more in a week together before like adult life and everything like that. Like that's the friendships that I have.
Yeah. Those are the ones that I've kept.
Yeah, but that's the ones that matter, which leads me to the last quote that I'll share, and take this in, like for real. So like listen to this, because this isn't necessarily talking about like other people. You won't find the same person twice, not even in the same person.
You can't see it. I got the chills because, I know that's so true. Especially for me, because I feel like I'm a new version of myself all the time. And my friends are probably like, this girl is crazy. But like, you will never really see the same version of me, especially because there's usually a lot of time in between when I see people, because I enjoy, the build, the grind. Like, I don't want to go hang out with friends all day, every day. I just don't, and I won't. Again, I don't do things. Actually, I do enjoy that. But I don't do things I don't enjoy. But anyway, I feel like my friends definitely feel that way of me, and that really hit home, because they are a lot of times meeting the more elevated version of me every single time you see me.
And it might not work for them.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, like, you never see it twice. So it can be taken good or bad. Such as, like, a lot about my family is, like, I haven't seen a lot of my family in years, mainly because they live across the country. But also, when we do talk and stuff, like, they only know me for the last version of me that they've seen.
Damn.
And it's annoying because they still treat me...
When was the last version of you that they've seen?
For like a late teen, early 20s. And it's, that's over almost 15 years ago, I would say. Not necessarily, I've seen them since then, but when I saw them then, they still treated me at like I was at that realm. And I literally stood up at the table and I just, frankly, I said, I don't have to listen to this. I have adult money now. I can go right back to the airport. And this was 6 hours after my arrival. And the look on their faces was like they knew at that moment they cannot get away with their views of me anymore because it was happening. Now, these are also some of them were people that follow me on social media, or I would still talk to some of them via text and everything like that. But again, like you're not going to find the same person twice, even in the same person. And I'm just a massive, massive, massive believer in you need to understand people change for the better.
Yeah.
Or
and sometimes
they change for the worse. But again, that's why I said it can go bad. Because if somebody is great and they're clean cut and they're on the straight edge and narrow, and then something bad happens in their life and now they spiral and they're in and out of the system and drugs and alcohol or whatever the case may be, well, like, that's a big issue. Like, that you're never going to see that old person again. Like, they could go back to being clean and sober and straight and blah, blah, but I guarantee you,
well, now they have new trauma under their belt.
After they rock bottomed, they're going to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah. Dang. That's a good one. And actually, speaking of that, my problem is I read a lot of studies and I never remember the details, but there is a study out there. I wish I remembered the details, but like it basically said that your parents, and I think this would also extend to like your close family, people you came up with or whatever, but like they see you, their brain maxes out basically at seeing you around 18.
Yeah.
It's about whatever developmentally you were when you graduated high school. The people who have raised you or seen you your whole life, it's really hard for them to be able to see you, as different than, and feel the way, whatever way they feel, but like it's hard for them to really elevate their mind with where you're actually at beyond
if they haven't elevated theirs.
Yes.
And that's the issue.
And probably if you're not as vocal about it.
If the elders don't grow and they just stop developmentally, and whether it's everyday life, financially, career-wise, whatever, if they stop growing and stop over like trying to reach up and achieve higher, that's the issue. Like that's the problem. It leads into you see something, and a lot of people. My family members have accused me of this. She was like, "Oh, you're fake, you're phony, you forgot where you came from," and it's like, no, I remembered where I came from. That's why I don't want that shit.
Your sister actually specifically, again, years ago when I first started coming around, like that's what she always said is like, you're a whole different person than you were before. But like, yeah, I hope so. I don't want to meet the teen version of you. Like I hope you've grown and learned.
I actually wasn't that bad. That's the crazy part. I was a really solid person as a teenager.
Of course.
I had to grow up real fast, so I actually lost the fun version of me, and I've like slowly started to get that back over the last. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty there, but prior to like more recently, like I would say it took me a few years because being a business owner every day and the brick and mortars and stuff like that also compounded. COVID brought out the worst version of everybody as well.
Well, you've been in fight or flight essentially since, I mean, your whole life. And then especially at like 19 when everything got dumped on you. So, and then growing a business right after that, like you've literally not had a chance to find yourself or find the childlike version of you or what you even enjoyed doing or any of that ever, actually. So this is like your first time really being able to explore that. So like it, again, also makes sense that you're not the same version of you that you were growing up, that you were, you know, when you were in a household that like where things weren't good, and then when you were figuring it out on your own, like of course you're not going to be that same version of you. But
I also think, you know, back to what we were saying about my sister, is the one that called me out on it. Like she's completely different now as well. Like she still walks a similar path to the path that she's on, but she understands differently now. Such as when she changes, it's not her being phony, or like she's done things for the better for herself, and it's not her being phony. Like it's just realization that, man, things need to change if I want better for myself, or I want more for myself, or you know, you just take yourself down to reality, and it's one of those things. Again, just because somebody changes, it might be not the better for you, but it's for the better for them a lot of times when things go on the up and up. Now again, we're not talking about trauma or getting drugged and you spiral out of control because events happen. We're solely specifically talking about you were this person and now you're a different person for positive things in your personal life that others might not see why or how, because you're on different wavelengths. It doesn't make you phony, it doesn't make you fake, it doesn't mean you forgot where you came from. You're just actually changing for the better for yourself. You found out what the better version of you looks like.
Yeah, and like realistically, I like to just take it back to the basics, like when you kind of lose touch of things, but like at the end of the day, humans are here to evolve. Like it would be real, like, I mean, every species on the planet, I believe, I mean, don't quote me to that, but like the whole point is evolution, right? That's what we're doing over the decades. And also, like, if you take it to a micro level, that's what we're doing day to day. That's what we're doing month to month. It's all an evolution. And it's real weird if you're not evolving. And that's at least one of our standards. Maybe I need to add it to these life rules. But, like, I don't associate with people who aren't constantly evolving because I just have no interest in staying where you're at. I'm not saying where I'm at. So I don't want the people around me, like, cool with staying where they're at either. And that is definitely one of my hard boundaries. So we like a whole different person. And also, so back to like one of your quotes was, don't miss somebody that you know where they are. But I do have to say, again, we said we were guilty of that. I'm very guilty of that. And according to what I learned on TikTok, so, you know, again, don't quote that. But I really do think I have some like ADHD tendencies. And one of those things for me, and this is actually a problem in all of my friendships, I'm calling myself out right now, but I'm a very much out of sight, out of mind person. Like, unfortunately, my brain is thinking of so many things all day because I'm obsessed with building and learning and growing and evolving and blah, 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 blah. I'm not actively sitting down thinking about the friends that I haven't spoken to in a long time. So, like, if you don't hit me up, or if I don't run into you out in public, like, there's probably nothing that's going to cross my mind and say, hey, I should probably hit up this person and set up a play date or this or that, because it's just out of sight, out of mind. Like, I don't have that running list of, I'm very like, or maybe it's just the state that I'm in right now, where I'm just so focused on us and our growing that unfortunately, I don't think of other people. Even like, I live across the country from my family. I miss them, like in a vacuum blanket statement. Yeah, I miss them, but
your day-to-day focus is different.
Yeah, there's no point in my day where I'm like, I really want to call them and see what they're up to, because like I don't want to. Like it's just not in my. But when we're together, I love hanging out. I love being present. I love my family. I love catching up. But it's not a part of
And
what
just to
I
clarify,
do.
right? Like I think something so it doesn't get misconstrued is when you say that like it's not part of your day-to-day. The key focus there is day.
Yeah.
Right. You only have so many hours in day/daylight to get what you need done.
And there's no point in time where I'm sitting around doing nothing.
Right, like 9 times out of 10 when we talk to your family, whether it's just you or me or whatever, like I talk to your mom more than you do, but I also talk to your mom during the day or in the morning because I process things, and again, I can do things at a different pace than a lot of people, like we talked about in the last one. Like I don't need something to gear me up to switch me to get into mode. It's just me telling myself get into mode.
Yeah.
But often when you talk to your family, it's at night when everything is done and taken care of. So when you say like, oh, it's just not on my thought or brain or whatever to want to talk to them during the day, she's literally talking about the day. Like when we have things that need to get done during the day.
Yeah. Because I really don't slow down. I enjoy my days being packed, and if they're not packed, like my brain is going, and it's not about people, it's about concepts.
And it's also different because we have, financial freedom and we work from home and we can work remote and we can do whatever we want that way. Anybody who we're going to call in either of our families is working. Yeah. So that also plays a huge factor into why we're thinking of talking to them during the day. Yeah,
definitely very guilty of that. But I love my people, I love my friends, even when I don't talk to you for months and months, and I appreciate everybody who reaches out to me, because I'm also like a firm believer, like I just am who I am, and I'm not gonna change to make anybody else happy, and my friends know I'm that way, and they love me and accept me for it. Therefore, if they want to talk, they'll hit me up, and then we will have a great conversation like we always do. But I can't have friends who are offended by the fact that I'm not a reacher-outer, because I'm not. I never have been. I've never had a best friend. Actually, I had one, Judy. I think I would reach out to her a lot. I had one friend my entire life that I would go out of my way to reach out to. So it's never been a muscle that I've built, and I'm not going to build it just to like satisfy other people, because that's not specifically bringing me or my family any benefit as to what I want to be doing or where I want to go right now. And that could definitely change, but as of right now, I'm definitely one of those people. I'm not going to reach out to you, and one day I might work on that, and it's not going to be right now because I don't want to. So, again, I don't do anything I don't want to do. And I'm a very firm believer in that. You have to accept me for what I am. So on that note, I think we're over time. Maybe I could keep going. I have a whole list of life rules, but...
We do have a meeting in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, so let's wrap this one up.
All right, so, again, we have an intro to work on, but if you've listened to the other episodes, you know. It's always peace up, A-Town down.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.